Hi everyone and welcome back to Chess for Charity. In this video, I'm going to show an amazing defensive resource that Shredder, playing the white pieces, pulled off in one of the Chess Engine Championship games. Okay, just take a look at this position and see if you can kind of just get a sense of what's happening. Currently, black is threatening white in a couple of ways, mate in a few, right? And it looks a little scary, right? It looks like white is about to lose. You might notice that black's king is a little empty over here, but the square is covered and there's no other check. That's good, right? You can check here, you could check here, you could check there, but you just take them, right? So it looks like white has nothing and black is about to mate white. So you say, okay, what is the brilliant tactic in this position? Why did I make this video, right? There's a reason why I thought this was amazing. So it turns out white has a game-saving move in this position. If you want to take a moment to try to figure it out, feel free. It's tough. When you see the first move, you might go, okay, that wasn't on my radar, and then you might try to go from there. But to see that first move is kind of crazy. Okay, so the first move in this position is bishop b3. Now you might go, okay, that makes a little sense. Maybe I'm trying to deflect the queen away from this square because there's some coordination here. And you say, oh, but I could take with the knight, right? Or I could just, if I really want to play safe, maybe I can just move back. Right? There's no like immediate threat, you think, right? So you say, okay, let's just look at the two captures. There's a queen capture, there's a knight capture, and then there's somewhere you could retreat, right? You could go here or here, but you don't want to, right? Just get captured. So you say, okay, let's look at the queen capturing. Well, immediately it doesn't feel right because you can see some checks coming in. Maybe something like this happens. I think the computer actually recommends that the king runs around. I forgot exactly what the computer recommends. Oh, right here, king e5. This is what the computer recommends. This is the best continuation right here. Look at that. This is what you want to go into if you're black? I don't think so. It's a little scary. This queen is really dangerous, hitting a lot of stuff. King f6, queen takes. There's a lot. I won't go too deep. I already went like 5, maybe 6 moves already. Maybe more than that even. Okay. So you say, okay, well maybe then, instead of taking with the queen, I could just retreat. Right? What's the harm there? Well, in that case, you got to remember, you're actually under quite strong threat as well. If I take right here, I'm threatening some stuff. And it's not so clear how you're going to avoid everything. And it turns out in this position, the best move for black is queen c7. And that's what the computer is calling for. And just take it, and then maybe just play bishop d1, it says. Okay, right, that's the only place that keeps this bishop nice and safe, guards that pawn. Cool. Not like you really need to guard that pawn anyway, right? There's a check. Either way. So, you go, okay, the king, here it is. The queen retreating doesn't actually do anything, right? I'm going to threaten something eventually with these checks and maybe taking here. So then let's go with the forcing variation that maybe you thought of immediately. What happens if the knight captures on b3? Okay. So think about it for a second. So what do you think? Well, notice right now that white is currently stalemated. And this is kind of why I like to play anti-chess and those weird variants, is you kind of notice stuff like that a little faster because your mind is looking for it. You're looking for these weird little like differences that you don't really have in normal chess. Okay, so what does that actually mean? How is that helpful? Well, if the king is stalemated, you might have an eye to go, well, maybe I can get rid of all my pieces and then I can stalemate myself. Maybe, just maybe. Well, then you go, yeah, I could do that, but I have this pawn on f3, and how is that going to happen? Because if ever I just, I don't know, sack my queen here, let's just say I throw the queen in, I throw the rook in, okay, now what? I have to get rid of this? Well, that's not good enough. That's going to be mate, right? So you say, okay, that's kind of the heart of the problem. How do I, let me go back to this, sorry about that. How do I get this pawn to stay still? And then you go, I see. There's a check here on f4 that can block all of these pawn moves forward. Well, that's it. If I go queen f4 check, obviously the king can't move, right? That's going to be mate if you do. And if you go this way, it's not much better. You get to live another move. But clearly that's not what black wants, because black was on the offensive a moment ago. So at this point, the best that black can do, if you're giving me the queen, is take it. I don't want to lose. Well, in this position, remember, white is stalemated, and now the pawn is also stalemated. So if I can just get rid of this rook, it's stalemate. And that's it. Rook b7. And where you go, I'll just chase you around. An important note here, the queen capturing does not help the situation because it's the knights that are stalemating the king, not the queen. So let's go back all the way to the beginning. All the way back. Let's see the whole thing in motion now. It's amazing. It's totally, totally amazing. First move, bishop b3, saying, hey, I'm attacking your queen. Here's a bishop. Take it. It's free. They think, okay, this way, maybe go back. The computer takes this because they understand that they don't want to go into this crazy position where the rook and the king and the queen are kind of all running in the middle of the board. Instead, take on b3 with the knight. Check. Take. Give up your rook. Take. Stalemate. It's a draw. It's a draw. They have 5 pawns, 2 knights, and a queen. And it's a draw. Think about that. A queen is 9 points, right? 3 and 3. So you have 9 and 6 is 15 plus 5 more pawns. That's 20 points of material to 2. You have 10% of their material, and it's a draw. This is crazy. I saw this puzzle, and I was like, this is just crazy, crazy. It's bananas. I have to show it. It's so cool. I love it. So if you enjoyed it as well, be sure to like it on YouTube. Maybe consider subscribing. I show like all sorts of puzzles like this. It's just so much fun. I love chess, as you might be able to tell. And I love puzzles. I love solving puzzles. I love looking at puzzles. There's something about it that's just so cool. So that is it for this video. If you enjoy it, please stay connected, and I'd appreciate it. Thanks so much. Bye.